so, I thought I was like, the average mother, doing, everyday things, the class mom, doing cancer, benefits, whatever. And on the outside looking in, it looked like had a pretty great life. And from one day to the next, my 13-year-old started having seizures, and we thought it was football related. And it really didn't matter because push came to shove. He was sick. He needed medication. And so after about 3 or 4 months in, he was no longer having seizures. And I said, you got to get back out and start being with your friends. And he'd come home all the time after 30, 40 minutes. And one night I said, okay, this is wrong. What's going on here, Matthew? And he said, Mom, I just don't fit in. Everybody's doing drugs. Everybody's drinking. And in Canada, our drinking age is 18. So they start, everybody starts early, but in Canada, a little bit even earlier, I think. So I was looking at him. I said, Matthew, you don't need booze to have fun. And as I said it, I swear I had the biggest glass of wine in my hand. And it was like a truck hit me. And at that minute, I said, Matthew, I'm going to stop drinking for 3 months just to prove a point, to show you, because I used to drink wine every night, right? I mean, the martinis, this, that. But, I seemed everything was kind of in control, so to speak. And after 3 months, he said, see, now you can be like everybody else, Mom. And I said, no, 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 no. Okay, I'll do another 3 months. And at that point, I was already starting to feel a lot better. I was sleeping more, and having a sick child also. Listen, I had to be on top of it in case something did go wrong to be able to drive him to the hospital. So my focus was him. It was easier for me to say I was doing it for him because I would never have done it just for me. So he gave me back my life. But quickly I realized that, you know what, everywhere I went, everybody said to me, okay, you've proved your point now, get over it. Come in the corner, have a shot with me, or a drink, or a martini. I won't tell. And I said, no, 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 no. I'll know. And how can I look at my son in the face if I'm telling him you don't need this to have fun and I'm doing it on the side? So that was more than 10 years ago. And Sober's the New Cool was born because 10 years ago, there was none of this, all this chitter chatter on Instagram. And I couldn't find anywhere to talk about how I was feeling. And alcohol was not, we had alcohol problems in my family. So I wasn't a stranger to alcohol problems. And, I just realized the longer I went, the better I felt. But I thought, if I'm 52 years old, 10 years ago, and I could say my Matthew was 15, how the hell is he going to get through social situations if I'm having trouble, like saying, trying not to get mad at people also, but trying to keep my boundary. And so Sober's the New Cool was, my sister made the logo, and it was just kind of done in a kitchen, and it was Facebook page was born for him to have a place to be able to talk about why he didn't drink. Because even though there wasn't a problem, he was embarrassed to say he was epileptic and he couldn't drink. So it really doesn't matter why you can't drink or why you choose not to drink. Quite frankly, it's nobody's business, number one. But number two, it shouldn't be an issue if you don't drink. And, it just, the minute we went on Facebook, Europe was the first place that just blew up. People just kept sending me messages saying, how do you stop? Where do you start? What did you do? How did you do it? And then I realized this was not just about my son, and it wasn't about me. And then I also realized I had drank way too much in my lifetime. And I liked myself a lot better without alcohol in it.
Yeah. It's interesting how you say Europe. One of the really powerful things that a friend of mine that I shared, Kim, we talked on another podcast that I do, and I shared it with her because she was kind of the mommy's wife, wine club. It was like you, very, involved, and when I say involved, I don't mean that you don't have a boundary with your son, but, you were there. You were the mom that you could be able to be there and be involved in different things. Very much the same way. She's a high achiever, but it was that, our talk helped her start questioning, I feel like crap. Yeah. I'm doing this, I got kids going into college. I'm sitting there telling them the dangers of excessive drinking, drugs that are out there now. Look at me. And so I think, for me, where you touched my heart in finding you is that there's so many women out there. They're good moms. I'm not slamming you, but there is that kind of end of the day. Oh, this day I'm going to have my glass of wine and it turns into a bottle or whatever it is,
And a bottle is very easy to have because once you finish homework and you want to pull every hair out of your head, I mean, you open that bottle and then you start making your dinner and then you have some wine with dinner. So a bottle is very quick. And I didn't think it was an issue, but it is. A bottle a day is an issue.
Yeah. I was the negotiator. It's okay because it's been a stressful day. I switched from hard alcohol to just wine and like that. I'm making dinner. I'm relaxing. And then one bottle went to 2 bottles to 2.5.
Yes.
And then it was like, oh, I'm going to just switch back to beer. And, it was that negotiation process. And I'm seeing that with women, with moms that are just that it's kind of become a culture, so to speak.
And I think a lot of them too, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. You're in this world where you're taking care of everybody. You're doing everything for everybody. You kind of get lost somewhere. You start feeling a little less than how you should be feeling about yourself. And then those insecurities come up. You're aging, your kids are paying, like all these other things start, and it's like a wall that keeps building and building and building. And all of a sudden, like for me, it was easier just to drink to like one, relax, two. I don't know. I guess I just felt I wasn't good enough. I should have been a little more. I should be doing something a little bit better with my kids. And there was always something. And I think it's a part of our self-esteem when we start looking after everybody, we kind of fall to the bottom and we forget all the good qualities we have. And, it just becomes a habit. And for some, they can kind of manage it. But do you really want to manage your life? Don't you want to have a full life?
This is the Knocking Doors Down podcast, featuring celebrities, experts, and everyday people who have overcome adversities, including addiction, mental health, and trauma, to live purposeful lives. And that's what Knocking Doors Down is all about.